So let's start by coming to the top of our mat, standing with all 10 toes spread and our hands in prayer, setting an intention and honoring that intention within your space through the sacred sound of Om. And let's set the intention free by inhaling and taking the prayer hands all the way up overhead, and exhaling, bringing the prayer hands back into your heart. Only to take the arms down by your side and inhale, scoop out and up the arms, and exhale down to your toes, hinging from the waist. Inhale, lift halfway up, lifting the chest, and exhaling the right leg back into a nice lunge, bringing the hands back even with the front foot. Shoulders are back, and back leg is nice and straight. Send the hips back. See if you can straighten that left knee. Flex the left foot so the top of the foot comes up off the floor, and drop the chest towards the thigh. And then exhale, come back into the lunge position. Inhale, take the hips back, straighten the left knee, flex the foot, and then exhale, come back into the lunge. One more time. Inhale, take the hips back, straighten the left knee, flex the foot, and exhale, come back into the lunge, only to bring the right foot to the top of the mat and relax your upper body over the legs. Inhale, lift halfway up, drawing the chest away from the thighs, only to articulate the left leg back into a lunge. Hands even with the front foot, shoulders are slid back. And if the hips are a little tight, it's okay to soften that back knee a little bit if you need to. And then now draw the hips back, try to straighten that right knee. Now flex the right foot, drop the chest, and then come back into the lunge, shoulders come back. Inhale, send the hips back, straighten the knee, flex the foot, and then exhale, come back into the lunge. One more time, send the hips back, straighten the knee here, and then come back into the lunge, only to scoop that left foot to the top of the mat and relax the whole body over the legs. Inhale, reach all the way up to stand. Push through your feet, reach all the way up, and then exhale all the way back down to your toes, hinging at the waist, getting some heat with the movement and breath. Inhale, reach all the way up to stand, push, and then exhale, hinge at the waist, come back down to the toes. One more time. Inhale, reach all the way up. We're going to stay here. Twist to your right and open the arms out like the letter T. Really spread out here through this twist. And then inhale, reach all the way up in the center. Do the same with the left. Open the arms out. Inhale, come up in the center. Do that again. Go to the right, open the arms out. And then inhale, come back in the center. Open out to the left. Come back in the center, lifting the arms, and then go right back down to your toes, hinging at the waist. Inhale, lift halfway up. Extend the spine, and then walk back into a nice plank position, high push-up, grounding the hands and the feet, and lowering knees, chest, chin to work through the joints. Slither through, find a little baby cobra, squeeze the back, get it warm there, and then push through your joints, bend the knees, hinge through the hips and the ankles, and come back to your first down dog. Feet are hip-width distance apart. Fingers are spread, so you're able to get a nice suction to the mat, and the shoulders can really plug back here. Take a nice deep breath in from here, and exhale out. Going for the first lunge here, so we're going to take that right foot to the top of the mat first. So inhale, bringing the right foot to the top of the mat, back heel stays up here. And then you're going to take your upper body all the way up to balance. Taking the arms up overhead, or you can check in with the hips and place the hands on the hips just to make sure both hip points are pointing towards the top of the mat. And then take the arms up overhead, and then you can lunge a little deeper and perhaps straighten the back knee a little better as well. Take another inhale, lift the chest up a little higher, and then exhale, replace the hands down. And suck in the belly to get that right foot back to the back of the mat, down dog. Only to bring the left foot to the top of the mat in that lunge. Back heel stays up again. And then coming all the way up. And again, you can check in with the hips, making sure both hip points are front. And arms stretch overhead once you find your balance. Lunging deeply into the left knee here, expanding through the back leg. And then you can inhale, lift the chest a little higher right before taking the hands down to the floor. Left leg goes back to plank now. Maybe you lower all the way to the floor, kind of warming up to that halfway plank, chaturanga, right? And then lift up here for a bigger cobra, and then perhaps look to the back right corner of your mat. And then shift back into center, only to look to the back left corner of your mat, just to kind of get the pelvis and the hips to kind of shift a bit. Then come back into center, really get those shoulders back, lift your heart. And then curl the toes under, pushing through plank and finding your way back to down dog position again. Now going for the next set of lunges, warrior one. So take the right foot to the top of the mat, breathing the back heel down to 45 degrees. So both hips can face the front here as you lift your upper body and lift the arms. Shoulders are down, and that right hip keeps guiding back as the left one goes forward. The more you deepen the lunge. Inhale, lift up that chest, and exhale, take it down to the floor, sneaking that right leg back to down dog. Taking the left foot to the top of the mat, spinning the back heel 45 degrees, coming all the way up, letting both hips connect to the front of the mat, riding the arms all the way up by your ears, and don't be afraid to lunge a little deep here. Really test that back leg to ground and straighten. Inhale, lift the heart, and then exhale, place the hands down, taking the left leg straight back to plank and lower halfway plank here. Riding up over the toes, lift up for a nice upward dog, keeping the thighs afloat, only to go back into downward facing dog, lifting the hips and the tailbone. Last set of lunges for this series is warrior two. So taking the right foot to the top of the mat, spinning the back heel down so the back foot lines up with the back of the mat, and coming all the way up so you're opening your hips to the side of the mat, kind of surfing your mat, and having the arms spread out, reaching to both sides of the room. And check out that right knee. Make sure the right knee is to the right of the big toe. Lunge deep here and inhale, reverse your warrior, but stretching your upper body to the wall behind you. And then spiral the hands back down to the floor, taking the right leg, sucking in the belly in, and coming back to down dog. Only to release the left foot to the top of the mat, spin the back heel completely down to line up with the back of the mat, and windmill open here to warrior two on the other side. Again, it's okay to check yourself out. Make sure that left knee is now to the left of the big toe. And arms are even with the shoulders as the shoulders press down. Inhale, reverse your warrior now and stretch your upper body to the wall behind you, lightly touching the back leg. And shift the left leg straight back to plank, rolling through a vinyasa of choice. So you could stay with the knees, chest, chin, or go to halfway plank. Going to upward dog or cobra on the inhale, and going back into downward dog on the exhale. Take another breath from here. And then before we flow and put it all together, let's drop the knees down and take a brief child's pose. So bring the toes together and release the forehead to your mat. And if the shoulders need a little extra release, just bring the palms closer together. And that always helps give the shoulder blades a little puff and a little release of the muscles there. Just take another breath here. And we're going to put it all together, allowing each breath to have a movement now. So curl the toes under, come back into downward facing dog. And we're going to start at the top of the mat. So inhale, look at the top of the mat. Exhale, bend into the knees, draw the hips back. And if you'd like to float or hop to the top of the mat, you can. Or giant step, bringing the feet together, only to lengthen the spine when you get up there, lifting halfway, and exhale, lower down. Let's inhale, reach all the way up to stand and do that twist again. So that felt really good. So take the arms down by your side here, and then let's inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, twist to the right, open the arms out like the letter T. Inhale, lift up in the center. Exhale, twist to the left. And then inhale, lift up in the center. Go to the right again. And inhale, lift up in the center and go to the left again. So that twist feels really nice. Inhale, lift all the way up and let's go back down to our toes. Inhale, lift halfway up, draw the chest away from the thighs. And now walk, or if you want to hop back, you're more than welcome, and lower down any way that feels good. Halfway plank here I'm doing, and sliding over the toes into upward facing dog and flipping over the feet into downward facing dog. Here we go. Take a breath. And now bring the right foot to the top of the mat. Heel stays up in the back on the first one. Inhale, lift up, lunge deep here. Exhale, take it down to the floor. Suck in the belly. Right leg goes back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot comes to the top of the mat through the whole breath. To inhale, take the arms up overhead, reach, lunge deep. Use the exhale to come back to the floor. Left leg goes straight back to plank. And lower down halfway. Inhale up over the toes, keep the thighs afloat here, and exhale back downward facing dog. Second lunge, warrior one. Take the right foot to the top of the mat, spin the back heel 45 degrees so both hips face the front. Inhale, lift up, lunge deep. Keep the back heel down. Exhale, take the hands down. Right leg slips back to downward facing dog. Inhaling, using a whole breath till left foot comes there to the top. Spin the back heel 45. You inhale, lift to warrior one. You take the whole exhale to come to the floor. Left leg goes back and roll through a vinyasa from here. Using the inhale to lift the heart and using the exhale to come back to down dog. Now taking the right foot to the top of the mat, spinning the back heel down. Even going through warrior two to open up the hips and then keep trailing that inhale to go back into a radiant warrior, reversing the warrior to the wall behind you, lunge here, and then come all the way down to the floor. Left leg sneaks back to downward facing dog. And now left foot comes to the top of the mat, spin the back heel to line up with the back of the mat and just keep moving with that breath and let it move you to the wall behind you to side stretch the left side of your body. And then spiral back down to the foot, taking the left leg straight back to plank, lowering halfway, flipping over the feet for upward dog, shoulders are back, and go back to downward facing dog, breathing here. Maybe take a breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, letting it out. Keep the shoulders plugged back. And now look at the top of the mat. Exhale, bend into the knees again. Choose to walk or float to the top of the mat, coming up to stretch out the spine and release it back over the knees. Inhale, reach all the way up to stand. This time we're going to go right into the next round by swan diving right back down to the floor, hinging at the waist. Sucking in the belly as you inhale, lift halfway up here, shoulders back, and then walk, or you can hop back and lower down halfway plank. Slide up over the toes, again lifting upward dog. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. Breathe the right foot to the top of the mat, leaving the back heel up. Inhale, lift the upper body up, lunge deep here, and use the whole exhale to take the hands down to the floor. Sucking in the belly to bring the right foot back to the back of the mat. Breathing the left foot to the top of the mat, keeping the back heel up. Inhale, lift all the way up into a nice big lunge. And then exhale, come all the way down to the floor. Sneaking the left leg straight back to plank and lowering down. Inhaling, coming all the way up, shoulders are back. And exhaling back into downward facing, lifting the hips. Bringing the right foot to the top of the mat, spin the back heel 45 degrees. Inhale all the way up into that big warrior one, both hips face front. And then exhale, bring the hands back down. Suck in the belly, right leg goes back. Breathe the left foot to the top of the mat as you spin the back heel 45 degrees. Inhaling, coming all the way up. Oops, I'm losing my balance, so I'm smiling and laughing here. Left leg goes straight back to plank and then roll through your vinyasa, lowering down halfway. Lifting up over the toes, upward dog. Keep those thighs afloat and go back to downward facing dog. Only to breathe the right foot to the top of the mat. Spiral all the way up and reverse that warrior. Stretch the right side of your body. Keep lunging here. And then go all the way back down to the floor, sneaking the right leg back to downward dog. Taking the left foot to the top of the mat, spin the back heel completely down to line up with the back of the mat. Come all the way up into that reverse warrior, stretching the left side body and coming all the way down to the left foot. And last vinyasa, so make it count as you lower down halfway. Flip over the toes, lift up, shoulders back, and then roll back over the feet to go back to downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale. And exhale out of the mouth. Nice big dog, shoulders are back. Let's really stretch through our feet now. Inhale, lift the heels up as high as you can. Keep the knees straight. And then exhale, lower the heels down towards the floor. Inhale, lift the heels all the way up. And exhale, lower them down. Last one, inhale, lift the heels all the way up. Stay there. See if you can press your chest towards your thighs now. Really get a nice long extension through both back sides of the body, through the legs and the back, before taking that moment to come to child's pose and release. Take a deep breath in and exhale fully. Take another deep breath here. And exhale fully, letting those back ribs stretch right before coming up and being able to come onto your back with your knees bent and your feet flat, just to kind of finish off our practice for today before we take Shavasana, final rest. So let your arms relax, knees bent, feet flat, shoulder blades tucked under. And then once you get settled in with the breath, take the arms up overhead, stretch big here, interlacing the fingers and flipping the palms. Stretch your hands, your wrists, your forearms here. Even taking right hand around left wrist and giving that arm a little tug, and then take your left hand around your right wrist and give that a little tug. And send the arms back out. And then let the knees fall to the left. Just collapse them and bring the knees up and fall to the right. Let the knees fall to the left and let them fall to the right. One more time, let them fall to the left. Pick them up and let them fall to the right. So you have that nice big open twist with the pelvis and the spine. So now we can go for something deeper by bringing the heels closer to you. So you can lift the hips up slightly. Swing the hips to the right, letting the knees come to the left. And you can even grab the knees with your left hand, ensuring that you can stack the knees and the hips and get it nice and cozy. And letting the right shoulder just fall to the floor. If you need a little extra in the neck and the shoulders, you can pick the head up and place your chin over your right shoulder and place the head down. Take one last breath here. Exhale fully, letting that twist really hit in through the spine and the digestive tract, bringing the legs back in the center. Only to lift the hips up, swing them to the left now, bringing the knees to the right. Again, you can grab the knees to kind of keep them close, letting that left shoulder just come down to the floor, and you can keep your head just looking at the ceiling or the sky. Or you can pick the head up and place the chin over the left shoulder and place the head back down to release a little bit deeper into the shoulder, and if you need a little extra on the neck. So again, getting the fluid to kind of move around, bringing it out through the spine, as well as getting a 2-for-1 for the digestive system here. And then be able to bring the knees back up into center, readjust the hips and the back so you can slide the legs out, flex the feet, take another big overhead stretch any way you like here. Really activate everything and take the arms out and down by your side. So leave yourself some space between your body and your arms there. And then let's activate this stretch briefly. So spread your fingers wide like a perfect 10 and flex your feet and relax. One more time, flex your feet, stretch your fingers, and relax. Take a deep inhale through the nose and separate the lips just enough to let it out. And coming into final rest where you can let the eyes softly come to a close. Just allow your breathing to now come to a calm. You come back to a smooth breath that just glides in and out of your nose right now. Allowing all your limbs to fall heavy into the earth. Let your skin relax. And just letting go and making peace with the body. And the more you release, you allow the asanas, the actual postures, to come in and find refuge in your body. To raise your vibration of health for the body and the mind and your spirit. Take a deep inhale now. And exhale fully, letting the breath and the body sigh. And just allow yourself to become aware behind your eyelids of just the movement that the breath can offer first. How the breath just bellows the skin and the bones. And then maybe spread the fingers or spread the toes to awaken you. And then slowly let your movement grow on you as you feel. Maybe taking the hands to the belly or the ribs. That's my favorite, just connecting to my center. And that solar plexus energy that comes from that navel area that gives us the means to act and move in a conscious level with our actions. And then eventually make your way to your right side, just taking that brief moment in that fetal position to gather your intention and hone your awareness before coming up and taking a cross-legged position to bring back your intention you set for the practice, and that you could lead with a conscious mind, with this conscious awareness. Taking one hand over the heart, one over the belly. Take a deep inhale and lift the heart high. And as you exhale, bow forward to the earth, paying gratitude towards yourself and towards the earth that holds you. Namaste. Now go out and make some magic, and I'll see you next Monday. Don't forget to subscribe.